The National Football League welcomes you to the Pepsi Super Bowl 56 halftime show. Give it up for Dr. Dre.
It's not the main event, but a Super Bowl halftime show. The 13-minute-long $1 million a minute extravaganza takes thousands of people, months of planning, and near military precision to pull off. The halftime show affords musical artists the opportunity to wow a captive audience of more than 100 million people. The year 1967 birthed this brilliant idea with marching school bands, after which 1991 welcomed pop artists onto its lineup. Pop star Michael Jackson introduced that breakthrough performance that would register the show as a must-watch TV show, further attracting commercial sponsors. According to Forbes, the cost of producing the halftime shows is between the $10 to $15 million range, if not higher. This throws more light into why the selection process of the show performers begins with a panel which includes officials from the American National Football League production company, as well as the directors and producers of the halftime show. The aftermath of the scrutiny is a handing over of a shortlist to the Super Bowl's hosting city for a final decision, heavily backed by the notion that performers must make a statement. Two other important elements considered are genre relevance and popularity. Headlining artists like Katy Perry, Lady Gaga, Bruno Mars, Beyoncé, Coldplay, Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake, Bruce Springsteen, among others, have over the years made bold statements with their performances. However, none of them were paid. The NFL only pays for the expenses of the band, its handlers, and support staff. Performers rather make revenue through diverse ways, including streams, resulting from their performances. According to Spotify, J-Lo and Shakira both saw a major spike in music streams after performing in the 2020 edition, with 335% and 203% increase respectively. The following year, The Weeknd invested $7 million of his own money into his performance and saw the highest streaming spike for his song, House of Balloons, which was only played during the show. Even though the Super Bowl halftime show happens to be a lucrative gig, artists like Rihanna, Pink, and Cardi B turned down the halftime show in support of former quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, Colin Kaepernick, who took a stance against social injustice. Hip-hop mogul Jay-Z also inked his name on the decline list, citing requests by the NFL on surprise appearances as his reason.
Undefeated with the cane too. I said no to the Super Bowl. You need me, I don't need you. Every night we in the end zone. Tell the NFL we in stadiums too.
Ironically, Jay-Z's Rock Nation went on to partner the NFL in 2019 in a deal that sought to optimize the league's entertainment arm and also amplify their social justice efforts. Rock Nation went on in 2020 to name Hollywood's Jesse Collins as the executive producer of the halftime show, making him the first ever black executive producer of the show. Hear what Jesse Collins had to say after this year's record-breaking show.
You know, this is one of the fastest first halves in NFL history. And so we had to make sure that there was plenty of production value, lights in the stadium, huge set, and then just monster hits. I mean, just an incredible team. I mean, that thing came on in, I think, less than 8 minutes tonight. The DPS team, the Rock Nation team, the NFL, everybody just working hard, knowing that we had no choice. You had to get that on.
Team members in technical and production department also recounted their efforts leading up to the success of the show.
Hey everybody, I'm Bruce Rogers, production designer of the Super Bowl halftime show. This is my 16th halftime show. When you're designing a halftime show and the bar is really high that we've raised constantly every year after year after year, you don't go to design anything easy. It has to be epic, and you need to have that connection with your audiences. You're not designing a televised performance for 200 million. You're designing a live performance for 80,000 people. And it's the camera's job to capture the connection between the artist and the live audience. And that always translates to everybody watching on television that wishes they were right there. The production crew that we have, that's an elite group of people, we could take on any crew in the whole universe in film, live shows, Broadway. They are world class and they step up. and they pull off these incredible, epic shows.
This year's Super Bowl shot up with the best ratings in the last 5 years, averaging 112.3 million viewers across television and streaming, according to NBC Universal, which aired the event. The widely praised 2022 halftime show, which featured Dr. Dre, Eminem, Mary J. Blige, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent and Kendrick Lamar, was a top 10 hit, topping 7% from last year's stint by The Weeknd. Aside the rave reviews, headliners for this year's show, Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg had plenty to celebrate after both hip-hop legends scored their first ever billion-view video on YouTube in the wake of the extravaganza.
And I still got love for the streets. It's the DRE.